There, let's go back. Hi. I'm still getting a little ready here. Go down. Thank you. All right. I just take my hair down. I haven't even taken it down yet. I got them. Okay. I might be paused or something. I don't know. I'm getting the spinny thing on YouTube, but that could just mean that the stream's not coming through to me. That's all. So I'm going to continue as if everything's fine. Now it looks dark. Okay. So what do we have here? Hey, oh wow. Hey Reagan. Hey Megan. Hi Lily. Hey Callum and Charlie. Is it Charlie? Yeah. Hey Sue. Hey Autistic Shill. Hey Steffi. Hey the Mousy Files. Eliar. Robin, what's up? Grace Case, hi. This is Cassandra. April. Hi, Tiffany. Hey, the crazy lady. Tracy Love. Lisa. Lisa, just Lisa. Yes, you got live. Yay. Hey, cool gator. All right, awesome. All right, so I had a couple things planned for tonight. I do. Oh, shit, reminds me. I'm gonna message her. She wants to join me. Shit, I'm an idiot. Hey, just started streaming. You wanna join? Oh, yeah, so I had a couple of things planned for tonight. Oh, wow, my hair looks like shit. I had it up for work, so, and I still haven't even taken my hair down. And just, I really felt all that great. That's right, using that. I haven't felt all that today. I don't know. I've been tired, head cold, but, all right. I don't know, I feel a little bit better now. So, I had two ideas for a stream, and I kind of wanted to cram them into one tonight. My first idea, the original one I had was I wanted to see. Here's what I did. I had this idea for another like big project. I was going to go through like some sort of timeline of events, whatever, regarding the whole Katie Joy involvement with the Dre McRae situation. And I started to do that. I went back to the very beginning. I started pulling screenshots of posts or whatever, tweets and stuff. But the thing is it started on July 6th. And by the time I got up to July 10th, it dawned on me that I need to do this. I want to do this, not just to show like the whole Katie Joy involvement, but that is definitely part of it. But I was reminded of a lot of things that I forgot about regarding what we all witnessed and seen in the videos with featuring Dre and her husband, her family, and I think that they should be revisited because there's a lot of things that kind of jump out at me. And this is a bash great thing, whatever. And I did read this of what kind of relationship they may or may have not had. I will never blame her in any way, shape, or form for the situation, that the way things transpired, because there are a lot of people that can be in shitty relationships, controlling relationships, whatever. But most people don't go out and try to unalive themselves. You know what I mean? As a result of that, most people leave through other means, I guess. Most people deal with it and handle it, address it in other ways. So, I mean, I feel like for anyone to go to the extreme of unaliving oneself, there has to be something else going on inside of you or on inside of them, whatever, for that to happen. That's not at all something I'm about to ever blame on anyone. So I want to be clear about that. That being said, I think that I don't think that it's harmful to go back and look at some of these red flags, really, relationship red flags that other people can benefit from just seeing and seeing what they look like and how they present themselves. So, and there's a lot of them that are right there for everyone to see because everything was documented. So, but that's part of this. Did she text me back? But the first part here, though, what happens there? All right. The first part here, though, I want to talk about some of the shit I'm seeing happening on Twitter. Like, there's what's going on? Like, I've been working a weekend. I haven't been able to catch all of it. Okay. But there's what's going on? Like, there's Julie Virgo stream. There was a few tweets on some of, or I guess maybe tweet replies on some of my tweets that I've seen. There's that. There's a Z stream. I think it was last night or something. Like, there's some shit going on there too. Like, what's going on? Like, why is everyone hating on each other as of late? I mean, it's not like we're all like the best friends. I get that, but I mean, it hasn't been that bad. Or I mean, it's not usually this bad, I should say. Is it generally accepted that it was on a live event? Yes. Yeah. Yes, I believe it is. I mean, I'm no expert in police reports, don't get me wrong, but I mean, I didn't see anything that jumped out at me. And even watching the videos of the two of them together, you know, through there's like, I don't see anything there that even, I don't know, that connects it to me, for me in my brain. But again, who the fuck am I? You know, I could be, I'm sure that there's every chance I'm wrong as there is that I'm right. But yeah, to my knowledge, that's pretty much accepted. And yeah. So, I mean, I wouldn't, how would you, I mean, I don't, what would you even look for? Besides, unless it's something that jumps right out at you or it's obvious, I wouldn't even know what to really look for. So, hey, Myra. Oh, thank you for becoming a member. Hey there. I tried texting you the other night too. I'm guessing you were busy at work. Sorry, I was tired, so. Okay, I watched my easy side and it wasn't for me. You know, I mean, I get that everyone's coming for JJ or whatever, they're pissed off that are, you know, it seems to just come and go in cycles, I think. Like, everyone's cool there, then everyone's not. Everyone's cool there, then everyone's not, you know. I don't know. I really don't know much about it. I know Real's issues with her. And I mean, I witnessed some of the things play out that caused Real to feel the way he feels about her. So I get that. I don't know about anyone else, so I haven't witnessed anything. So, and like she reached out to me some like on DMs and, you know, presented me with the proverbial olive branch, which I naturally accepted. And, you know, we've been cool. So I have no issue with her. But I see some people do. Oh, yeah, that's right. You're here. That's right. Suzanne accepting Hug's apology. Here's what I don't get, y'all. Like, because there's a couple people on YouTube that seem to be really fucking bothered by her doing that. And that pissed me off a little bit. So, and I'm not going to put the tweets on display because, like, the people who were, I guess, causing a ruckus about it or whatever on Twitter, they're not creators. They're viewers, more or less. So I don't want to put them in blast. But they're all public tweets. You know, it's not hard to find. But yeah, so let me go to my profile. Okay. So where is the one that started it all? Oh, it's such a cute doggy. Oh, okay. So yeah, here it is. Suzanne from Costa Rica, or or how not to move to Costa Rica, or now she's Machete Suzanne. I love that name. I have a nickname like that. The crazy feminist writer. So she tweeted to Roadhog, "Thank you, Roadhog. I haven't held anything against you in ages. I'm sorry for my role and the things I said and did that might be offensive to you or Michelle. Life is too short. Now truly verb code and pals and dissect this any way they want because they're less than flies to me." See, and here's the thing, like, I know that the things that Roadhog said, I know that Suzanne was deeply, upset by them for a time. It caused us she and I to have like a little spat a little bit, and thankfully though she either forgot about that or she's forgiven me and we've all moved on, but because we're cool now. But like, and I get it though. I know she was bothered by it. I know this firsthand, or not first, I've seen her by it, I'll put it that way. So for her to come out and say, "I haven't held anything against you in ages. I'm sorry for my role in the things I said that might have been offensive to you, Michelle. Life is too short." That's a big thing for her, given with how upset she was. So there was no small feat. There's no easy feat, whatever. She's in a place where she just feels like, you know what? I ain't got time for this shit. This shit's not even important. Like, I'm focusing on more important things. Like, we're cool. And I'm sorry. I know I played my part, whatever. What's so wrong with that? I mean, I get it. The Roadhog or whatever. Believe me, he put a fucking Google image of my house up. Okay. So I get it. Right? He went way over the line. He went too far and he's fucking crazy. Well, he's crazy and he's internet crazy. I'll put it that way. I get it. And I know that people bring up these videos of he and Michelle. Well, that's his wife. That's her decision what she chooses to do in regards to him. And I'm not vocalizing anything when it comes to that. People want to sit there and say that he's physically abusive or he beats his wife or whatever. None of those videos showed anything of this sort, or none did they even apply it. He yelled, yeah, and he said some really shitty things, but lots of people do that. That doesn't mean that they beat their wives or their husbands or anyone else. I mean, I can say some mean shit on occasion. Leave it at that. But I've never hit anyone like that. Well, right, besides bar fights, or whatever. But like no one I was with, you know what I mean? So that doesn't mean that it doesn't mean he's abusive, if physically abusive. And if however they interact with each other is between them. I'm not getting involved in them. So, but you yourself personally, you take issue with that side. This is crossing my line of comfortability in any way, shape, or form. Like even a little bit. I don't even want to be near it. So I'm not going to be. That's cool. I get it. But for you to then apply those standards and expect everyone else around you or on YouTube to adhere to your standards regarding someone else, well, that's just a bit entitled, in my opinion. Because like we all have the right and the freedom to make that choice for ourselves, and we should. So, but more than that, we don't have the right to make that decision for anyone else. And it seems like that's what a lot of people want to do, because after she wrote this, and this is, I don't want to put anyone on blast here because the people I'm going to be reading from are not content creators. But someone writes, "Supporting this man is supporting his behavior." Like, really? You had basically admitted as much when EKC called his behavior tantrums. See, now this person's talking to Suzanne. See, it was my calling his behavior tantrums that kind of pissed Suzanne off, made her upset with me. So for this person to then say that she basically admitted as much when KC called it. Really? She didn't admit that. She didn't admit that supporting this man is supporting his behavior. What she got upset with me about she thought I was maybe trying to take away a word that she felt was appropriate when in describing his behavior. She used a specific word, and then I guess I more or less reverted it down to tantrums. That's what she got upset with me about. She didn't get upset with me. She didn't say anything about supporting the man or behavior. That would be this group's thing, okay? Because Suzanne, I know, I've seen her. I've never seen her like try to impose that on people. Like, oh my God, if you watch this channel, if you support this or whatever, or she's never equated watching a channel to supporting a channel to then supporting all their behavior. Like I've never seen her do that. But this little group, oh yeah, I've seen them do that. And now, am I getting tweeted? Let's see. I have Twitter open on my computer though. Okay, no. All good. All good. Oh yeah, all good. Okay, what the hell keeps going on then? What am I for? Okay. Sorry. So then this one goes on to say, you didn't like being threatened, but it's okay as long as it's against the common enemy. Nah. And she said that, which I find this amazing. Oh, her tweet, I'll remind you. Here's what her tweet said. Thank you, Roadhog. I haven't held anything against you in ages. I'm sorry for my role in the things I said and did that might be offensive to you and Michelle. Life is too short. And now here's where the only part she really mentions anyone else, other people. Now, Julie Burko and pals can dissect this any way they want because they are less than flies to me. That's what she said. But this person interprets it to, you didn't like being threatened, but it's okay as long as it's against the common enemy. Like, where are you reading that into that? Like, where? Like, you might be taking her words and running it through that whole big fucking brick in your head called bias. Okay, and then that's how you come up with it, because that's not at all what she said. So, it's like a purity test. It's like people, if somebody does anything that's one thing that people find offensive or people find troublesome or bothersome, which, I mean, it can be argued that I think we all do that, but some people don't see this, become so bothered by it, and then just expect everyone to write that person off entirely. Yay, she's here. Okay. I'm going to put my earbuds on, and I'm going to welcome a guest to the show. All right, I'm going to bring you on now. You ready? So here's Suzanne. I'm going to I have to put my earbuds in, so I'll be right back, but I'll be able to hear.
Dropping everything. That's what I'm doing. Oh my goodness. I thought I'd missed it. I'm going to. Okay. And I'm not hearing anything.
All right.
Okay.
It should be just about connected. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to put it on mute because I know if I didn't, then it's going to get an echo.
Okay.
Why is
yeah,
it
no,
not?
I had to turn YouTube off for that reason because I hate the echo. It's just too crazy.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Oh no, I had the YouTube mute button, but because the sound will pick it up in StreamYard still from micro. Maybe it's because I use like an external microphone. I wonder if maybe that's why. But I'm just about there for some reason. Though the thing's not coming up under sound. It's all right. You can go ahead and talk. I have to mute in between my talking. That's all.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I don't know what to say except that some people have lost their damn minds with how they're interpreting everything. Okay. Wow, it's later than I thought.
All right, now I'm good. All set. Thank you. Sorry.
Good.
Yay. So yeah, I mean, what freaking? Okay, let me go back there. Yeah, that's crazy. Just like where? I mean, you're nowhere in your tweet did you say anything of that sort. You were just like, dude, whatever. Life's too short. We're good. awesome. I mean,
Yeah,
most people
exactly. And
would
I'm
look at
not
that and
saying
be
I'm
like,
rubber stamping him.
right, exactly. It's like it's your it's your um it's your apology to accept. It's your thing, it's your damage, it's your hurt. It's yours to do with any way you wish and to decide what because of it. But for other people then
Yeah.
to feel like they have the right to kind of say, well, then this makes you just as bad as them because you are still mad at them and hating them. Like, what the fuck?
That is crazy. I don't know why they're doing that. I've been blocking people off and on for a couple of months because I just finally decided I'm just done with all the stupid fighting. And I was
Right.
just going to let everything go. And the people that fight, I'm hitting block. And my life has been way more peaceful since. So I was really surprised by the people that tried to spin this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the one whose tweet I was just reading, I'm not too surprised about her. But then the other chick came in, and I've been kind of arguing with her about it. Oh, she came in under one of my tweets though.
Oh, who
But
was
yeah,
that?
she's had a lot to say about it. Becky something. Yeah, she's been talking about like a lot of this on my other tweets.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. It's the one I made about Roadhog. It's the one where I said, okay, I'll get there eventually. I will.
Yes, haters. I'm
I shared
guzzling drugs on stream.
I shared her tweet. She put a tweet up saying Sue and Meg supporting Road Pig or whatever when
I
he
saw that.
admits to
Yeah.
only being able to rent. Like the man shames others for what he can't even afford. You two are for sure in the right company. Like, oh my
Becky. Oh
God,
my
he can.
God, Becky. Why is she saying such a classist, such an entitled thing? She's doing a bunch of stuff there. It's a lot of stuff going on in that one stupid tweet. You can't shame people for
Yeah,
renting. You can't shame people for
exactly.
anywhere they live. If they want to live in a broken down van by the river, that's their damn business. Nobody
Like
else's.
it's not good enough if you go to work, if you support yourself, and you pay rent. It's not good enough.
So what does that say about her morality? That she's saying that she's some kind of big Christian and she's running around throwing shade at people for not having
Well,
the
putting
monetary
Brethren on.
resources to buy a house.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
It's just
My
it's
dad
just
disconnected. That's what
ridiculous.
happened. It is. It really is. I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, I don't know. Part of me just even kind of wonders is like, are people trolling or are people like actually just like this? I mean, I feel like the whole world's been turned upside down on me, so I'm not really sure what the answer is there. I mean,
Well, I'm not sure what the answer is there either, except that some of these people, we've seen them fight with others for a long, long time, and sides are switched and all of that over and over. And I just don't have any patience for that anymore. I'm too old and cranky. So I'm not putting up with it
so you're
anymore. I made a rule 3 months ago that when people start driving me nuts, I'm just going to block them rather than argue with them. And I
yeah,
normally
yeah.
don't do that. Like, no.
I started muting people. Yeah, just like
I've done that
muting them
too.
or muting
Muted.
conversations or whatever. Yeah. So that's why like Becky came back under that thread of mine, and she made some tweet like, oh, with this age, well, I'm like, I don't know what you mean. I think it's quite fine. What are you talking about? And then she said something like it's been the longest thread or something like that, and I'm like, it has? Like, I haven't gotten that many notifications. What the fuck's going on? So I wonder if maybe it's been from like a lot of accounts I have muted or something. I don't know.
Probably would be my guess. And
Yeah.
I've laughed at some of the things I've seen this week on Twitter. Like one day I was complaining because the guy who was doing some work for us was staying in our guest house. Somebody from that group, when I complained about the fact that he had ruined a couple towels, started making remarks about my monetary situation. And it was just retarded. Word. It was just silly. Let's just put it that way. Unbelievably dumb because you can't really say that a rich person is not going to care or a poor person is not going to care if their towels get ruined. No, everybody's going to care about that if they have good towels.
Yeah, and
And
here's in my experience, it's the people with money who care about their shit more than the people without money. That's been my experience.
yeah, that's kind of been my experience too, particularly if it's something a quality item.
You're
That's how
right.
people with money end up with money, I think. And I think that
Yeah,
people, they don't pick that up easily.
right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, people. I mean, if you don't have a lot of money, like when I don't have a lot of money, it's not. I want to sit here and say when I didn't have a lot of money, because there are still times I don't have a lot of money, and I'm buying shit at the dollar store, the Walmart, or something like that.
Same.
Towels, for example. Yeah, I'm not gonna really care too much about how well they're handled. But if I buy like
Right.
a really nice couple of towels or something from like, I don't know, J.C. Penney's or something, then yeah, I'm gonna care about how they're handled.
Yeah, and here especially where you can't run to the J.C. Penney's or the Dollar Tree and buy anything, you have to
Yeah.
go all the way to San Jose, which is 5 hours away to get anything decent. Go to Crate and Barrel, I guess it is, or something
Wow.
like that. And yeah, so it's a lot of silliness going on. There is one member of the group that I finally had to just block her altogether because anything I said over the last 6 months, she turned it around and attacked me no matter what it was. So we have this group of girls that, and I'm going to call them girls because I don't think any of them are mature enough to be women that are
Okay.
driving this bus. And they're
Yep.
only making themselves crazy because I'm not watching it anymore.
Yeah, no, it's like it looks like I don't know, some of them are, or at least one of them here in chat. Okay, here's the thing. I'm not gonna mute anyone or kick anyone yet, but I will because I'm not going to fuck around here. It just whatever. I want to talk about the shit I want to talk about. I don't want to get distracted. So this is the poor road hog stream, but it's funny though that that's what you're so worried about it being like whatever. Like we're not even talking about him. We're talking about you guys. Okay, this ain't
Yeah.
about road hogs. Whatever. Do whatever you want. I don't really care. I can dog in that fight. But you want to show up in my chat and try to turn it into something it's not, and then try to lay your fucking ridiculous bias all over it and try to frame
Ugh.
things in such a negative light. Well, then that's a your problem, And the same thing goes with anyone here who's here as like an advocate for Roadhog. Same thing goes for you guys too. Okay. We either argue a little bit if you want, but let's not troll. Let's not get out of control or whatever. That's all. So. I don't feel bad for anyone. Sorry. I mean, I do, but not here. I don't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, I'm gonna not pay attention to chat. So I mean, like, has anyone else been giving you a hard time? I mean, like, have you been getting? I know what it's like to be on the receiving end from this mob when
Yeah.
they come for you. So have you been getting a lot of shit?
I've been getting a fair amount, but most of it I don't care. I just hit mute or something like that, and I just don't even
Yeah.
engage anymore because it's like the Katie Joy minions. When they show up and you're looking at it going, really? You're going to come after me for my hair because your cult leader doesn't have hair? Stupid stuff. It's just unbelievable. And you're looking at this going, don't you have something to do? Don't you have food to cook or laundry to do or anything other
Yeah.
than this?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like I miss much of what's on social media from like working. Like, I mean, if you have anything else going on in life, you're not going to be on it 24/7 to be there to respond and to message and comment and shit, But so if you're there
Yeah.
able to do that, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you.
I've started to back off a lot from it, except for today. Today, I was feeling better
Yeah.
and went on Twitter a whole lot just to look at stuff because there was so much stuff popping off at the same time. But really, it's so negative, a lot of it, that the best you can do is
Mhm.
just kind of skim it, say one or two things to people you like, and then just get the heck out.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I don't know, like, Someone messaged me about Julie's stream the other night. Still haven't watched it. Like I tried to watch it, and I mean, this is going to come off sounding like I'm an asshole, and I get it, and I apologize, but I mean no disrespect by it. I just can't understand a lot of what she says. You know, like there's this one little part of the stream where she was like talking like an American. I'm like, oh my God, I totally understand that, you know?
Right.
But she does, I love her. She does these accents, so it's amazing. But yeah, so I can't really understand much of it. But
the Scottish
I
accent.
understand she was, yeah, exactly. I understand though, like there were a bunch of threats or something being thrown out at people. That someone was telling me. I don't know.
I have no idea. I've been under a COVID cloud for like day number 8. So it's like I disappeared.
How you doing?
I'm doing a lot better. And I'm glad because they were threatening to hospitalize me yesterday. So I was very glad to be able to avoid that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because you've had years of asthma, right?
That's what they were saying. It was like, well, with your mast cell, we really think you should go to San Jose, the COVID hospital where they can monitor you. And I was like, hell no. Hell no at all. So I'm not doing any of that. So this all stuff, it kind of puts it all in perspective for me too, because I'm looking at this stuff while we're both laid up in the bed going, what the hell is going on here? You know?
Yeah. It's crazy. It's like everyone is just like so. I don't know. I know I have my days too where I can be like especially mean or something. Yeah, and maybe that's just the case with a lot of people here. I don't know, but like it's just some things I'm reading that are just like I'm like, oh, like I can't believe someone just said that. Or like holy shit, like it's dropping my mouth, you know. And I just
yeah.
I feel like not much makes clutch pearls these days, you know. But here I am.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's what's been so hard about this week is because there's some things that have said and gone down that I've been so tempted to comment on. And this whole thing was just ridiculous. I was like, you know, you can't really dictate who accepts an apology and what they mean by accepting the apology.
Right. Exactly. Like, I mean, in this is what I try to remember. Like, there's been so many times, like pretty much every time I get very angry with someone, where I sit there and I think to myself, as I'm angry, there's nothing in this world, there's nothing they could say or do that would make me like forgive them and make me change my mind, whatever. And then just a little bit of time passes and something is said and done, and it's water under the bridge, you know?
Exactly.
And that's what I try to keep reminding myself of that, because there will come a time where I'm going to be looking back on my actions, how I reacted to things, and I'm going to be like, yeah, that was a little bit over the top. I get I was mad, but you know, in this grand scheme of things, it's a little over the top. You know, I don't listen to myself when I remind myself of this, remind you, but I try, you know.
Yeah, you try.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I was telling someone the other day, there's sometimes when you may not want to forgive ever. Like I have an aunt that went to her grave that I've never forgiven for something she did. Wow. And she was arguing with my father when he had his fatal stroke. So, and then she tried to sue me to screw me out of my inheritance. So it was like, no.
You were talking about this. Yeah. I heard you talking about it in your stream. Yeah.
Crazy Cajun relatives that have done all kinds of stuff. And she was just one of them, but she was an evil one. So there's times when it's not even appropriate to accept apology. But this is the internet. Why is anybody getting upset getting that upset about silly things?
Right. And you know, like, yeah, realizing that too, I try to apply that, like when I see other people, like when I see other people wronged by someone, and I'm like, wow, that's fucked up. And then they turn around and forgive that person. You know, if I'm not sitting there thinking, what the hell are they thinking? That's just crazy. I try to remind myself, you know what? I've done the same thing. I'm sure that there are people who looked at me and thought, you're a fucking idiot, you know?
Well, I think we all get looked at sometimes like that, especially if we're doing live streams.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can't imagine though feeling so entitled to that, where I would have the right to tell someone that their damage, they don't have a right to mitigate their damage, to manage it, to let it go, to accept an apology, or to harbor it. Like,
Yeah.
I can imagine feeling like I had that right to dictate that for someone else. That's just,
You
that blew my
don't.
mind when I read that.
And I've learned more and more about that as I've been writing my book, because I'm pulling up all those old nasty things that happened in my old church. And I'm thinking about a lot about forgiveness, and I'm thinking about what does it matter in the grand scheme, and thinking that the more the stuff you can get out and forgive and just push away, the better off you're going to be in the long run.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's very much so true. I mean, like, you don't give apologies for the other person so much. Like, and I say that because, like, if you give an apology, you can't give it with an expectation. You can't say you're sorry about someone, expect to be forgiven, and then get upset if you're not forgiven. So the
Right.
apology isn't so much for the other person. It's for you,
For
for you
you. Yeah.
to clear your slate, for you to set things right, for you to do it for yourself, so you can feel okay, and then hopefully that person can come around. But also, in the same respect, you accepting an apology, you don't do that for the other person either. You kind of do it for yourself.
Well,
Because
yeah,
I
you
feel
do
that's,
mostly.
yeah. So just knowing that, I mean, I can't imagine then also thinking that I have a right to dictate that for someone else when, just,
I know. It's the
it's a, I
internet.
don't know.
Why is everybody so wild?
Yeah, that too. That amazes me too. Like, I mean, I feel like I used to say all the time, like, it's not real life, it's the internet. And for the most part, that's still true, I think. But I do think that so much of our lives have become virtual that it is kind of real life. And
It is
they
kind of real
can
life.
definitely, yeah, and they can definitely spill over and stuff. I get that. But by and far, like something like this, it's still the internet. I mean,
Exactly. And that's what I
this
was
thing
kind of
going
laughing
to your,
about.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
too. It's so silly, some of it. And you're looking at it going, really? If we were here in real life, I might be smacking you.
I haven't looked at chat here for a minute. I purposely look away from chat, which I know is not fair to my mods, because I know if I don't, I'm going to get distracted every 5 seconds when there's some people here. But oh Christ, shut up. Okay, here's the thing. I don't want to turn this into a road hog stream. I really don't. Okay, but if you're on the internet and you get this bothered by something someone says to you, and that's fine. You can get bothered. Get bothered by it all you want. But it's when you then expect everyone else to be just as bothered by you as you and be there bothered with you. That's when things get a little crazy, I think. If that's what you require to remain here.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm in the broadcast studio. Go watch it. I had to tell him to watch the football game in the other room. He's fantasy
Okay.
football, so it's serious. He is seriously into it. He's walking around in his underwear.
Oh, I was going to say this. I didn't even have it on the studio screen. I had it on YouTube, but from the sound of your voice, I'm like, was someone about to walk in the room and start changing the clothes or something?
Yes, he was
It
going to
just
come in here and
sounded
watch football. He thought I was listening to you, not that I was on here. So, because I told him I didn't know if I'd come on because I didn't know my voice was going to be like.
Well, you
And
sound pretty good.
I feel pretty good. I feel better than I did. And
Good.
yeah, so yes, I survived it. So I don't know how I went 3 years without catching it, but almost 3 years.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's like Michael, he still hasn't got it.
oh
Like, I don't
wow.
know how. I don't know how he hasn't got it. It's nuts. It's crazy. I mean, he's fully vaccinated and all that. I'm sure that's played a role since he's had him. But like,
Yeah,
still, I mean, I was too when I caught it, and really, I come to think of it, like I've only had it once too, and just as much as I'm out in the public working and everything, it's
that's
still that's
wild.
pretty amazing. Too, I
Yeah,
think. Yeah.
especially bartending.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and no one there wears masks or anything. I mean,
Yeah, I know
we
that.
do when the county requires it, but other than that, no, we don't. Oh, so by football though, I'm curious. Do you mean football or do you mean soccer?
Football. He is
Football, okay.
NFL, and I just laugh at it because he does fantasy sports every year and it's all screaming and carrying on. And I'm like, why are you doing this? You're getting yourself so upset. Why are you getting so upset? He says, I enjoy it. It's like, what?
Yeah. Holy shit. I know exactly what you mean. Exactly. Like Dale is played today, so it's nice and quiet at the living room. If they hadn't played already, it'd be another story. I wouldn't be able to stream.
Yeah.
Crazy. Um, oh yeah, so like as I was saying, like, I mean, people are going to say shit that pisses off, and people are going to say some pretty egregious shit, and that's with our right, and our right to decide what it is we accept and we won't, where our
Right.
boundaries are, whatever. And I'll never say otherwise. But when you then start expecting everyone else to adopt your standards and to be right there with you whenever you get mad or whenever someone offends you so greatly or so deeply, and then get pissed off at those who don't, that's another story. And like I was
That's
reading
very
her in the
KJ
chat.
like, isn't it?
Yes. Oh my God, it's so KJ like. Oh, you know what's funny though? Okay, see here said it's hidden. Bullshit narrative. This was a Roadhog stream the whole time. The only people here who brought up Roadhog and want to make this about
Them.
Roadhog is you, CJ. You do. Let's see. I saw Lizzie Stardust talking about him too. She does. If you don't want a Roadhog stream, then don't make it a Roadhog stream.
Right. Don't talk about him.
So, exactly.
And it was interesting in the month in the lead up to Roadhog apologizing to me. I had a pile of people trying to contact me with very Roadhog like names who were trying to get me to fight with Roadhog. They were just coming up and saying all kinds of
Really?
awful things. And I just was like, yeah, that's close to his name, but that's not quite him. And I just didn't answer, just clicking off. So somebody is deeply invested in making Roadhog fight with everybody. And I have to question why.
Yeah, exactly. They just hearing that sound, it's like I get deja vu, I think, from
Yeah.
that. It's just some similarities there. It's kind of weird. Like when I had shared part of my conversation I had with an attorney and people got upset with me about it, I had people sending me shit too with like similar names to other people and claiming to be someone else. And and it's like, why are people so invested in this? So invested in turning this into something else? Like, what's going on here? Yeah, because this isn't just like someone's pissed off at something I said. This is, oh no, we want you to react a specific way. We want to see shit happen,
Yeah, this is every of the top notch trying to get you to do something.
Right.
Like poking a badger with a spoon. They're trying to get you to react. Hopefully react in a bad way.
Poking a badger with a spoon. I never heard that before. Oh God. But yeah, I mean, like, I think that's just, I mean, looking back on things now, even like a lot of the whole Nat situation, everything, like, that's what it all seemed to be though, was like, it wasn't that people were like pissed off in any with something someone said or did. They were angry and they wanted to see a certain interaction play out. They wanted to see shit happen. And it seemed like that's what they were trying to create.
Exactly.
They were trying to manipulate things, I guess. And it just seemed like it's still going on.
It is,
though.
I think. It is. It's interesting that it is still going on. So, and it's funny, I know I miss a lot because my email box likes to route people I don't know to my spam filter. And if I don't remember to check it, they end up going down the garbage chute.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know why my email doesn't send any of that shit. Well, no, they'll send the fake emails to spam, like the ones that were obviously spoofed that Google can pick up on. But that's it. The rest of them come right through to me. I wonder how. Maybe I should change the filter.
That's really strange. I don't know.
Yeah. I thought it was too when it started happening, because like I've had other email like on other servers like Yahoo, a lot of shit that there goes into spam filter.
Right.
Gmail,
you don't see it at all.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, oh man, just looking at the chat here for a minute. Oh my God. This one I'm gonna just okay. Shia, I'm not cool with anything Roadhog's done. And I thought I made that known. I thought that I made that known like over a year ago, or about it. Was it a year ago? No, it wasn't over a year ago. Earlier this year, anyways, with some videos. And I certainly haven't spoke out in defense of him at all since then. The only person here who I've shown my support of, at least as far as Twitter goes and here on YouTube, has been Suzanne. And Suzanne's decision to do whatever it is she wants to do with regards to whatever it is, you know. So that's
Just
it.
accept
And that's
his apology. That's
right.
it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's all that anyone's been in support of here. I don't know. And I know this Roadhog has been especially bad to you. I mean, I've seen it happen, you know. I'll be honest, you seeing and hearing the things he was saying to you was the reason, was that final push I needed back in the beginning of the year to really come at him. So
and a lot of people did. And my
right.
criticism was him is that the language he uses is not really appropriate all the time. There's one of those words I don't like.
There's several. I don't. Yeah, it's a whole suck my dick thing. That one gets me every time, I think.
Yeah. I feel like saying,
so,
I feel like being sarcastic like I used to be when I bartended, but I can't be that way anymore. It's just be nicer. So
yeah. Although it did feel good. One of them, I think I did put a tweet about it, and I said something like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do that right after you joke on mine."
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, and I know people are upset that I'm friends with Michelle. I mean, why would I be mean to her? She's not done anything wrong to me.
I mean, I get people are upset over the whole baby thing, and I'm not going to.
I do too.
I'm not going to comment on that. Whatever. That's whatever.
Same. Not my business.
The very same people, though, who want to throw in your face how can you be cool with Roadhog? You saw how he abused Michelle and this and that. Those very same people will then get in your face about being nice to Michelle. I
know that, and I think it's kind of silly.
Yeah, exactly. So,
quite silly. So
yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't cost anything to be halfway nice to somebody who's decent to you that you don't have a quarrel with, even though you're not rubber stamping anything they've done. You're just trying to be a decent human being.
Yep, exactly. And in much the same way, but it's not even much the same way. It's not even at all the same way. But when this whole thing, all the bullshit started with Ren, everyone came at me about that, oh, how can you support him, whatever. Well, it did eventually turn into support for him, but in the very, very beginning, that wasn't the case, but then I felt like just he and I ended up talking, we became friends. I really like the guy.
I like the guy too, except for a few little behaviors, but I had to back off because it got too much.
Right. Yeah. Again, though, that doesn't mean I support everything he does. Of course, I'm sure he don't support everything I do, and that's not the case with me and Roadhog. He and I are not friends, but I don't care to go after the guy. I don't care to hate him like everyone else. I'm indifferent. I'm indifferent to him. That's exactly
kind of where I am with it. I'm just indifferent.
Exactly. But I mean, why is that not good enough? Why do people feel like, no, you can't you can't just think nothing of him. You can't just think nothing at all. You have to hate him. You have to hate him with me.
The outrage machine.
Yeah, exactly. And
it's kind of like opening Pandora's box when we started trying to hold Katie Joy accountable. It opened the box and all this other stuff came out. And I've never seen a community where this didn't happen, where the purity test didn't happen. And they circle into tighter and tighter circles with fewer and fewer members and tighter rules all the time. I saw it in the Survivor from, religious foundation, everybody doing the same stupid thing. And I'm just sitting back going, really? I mean, even then I was not a fan of that at all.
Yeah. And I remember, was this maybe the end of 2020, beginning of 2021, I kept seeing a lot what happened to this community, that everyone's changed, the community's changed. And it's what do you mean? Any place you find a group of humans coming together for whatever reason, you're going to find this shit with the bigger it gets. If you have 5 people there, you're not going to have as many spats going on. No. But if you have 55 people in there, there's going to be spats within spats within spats,
You're right.
It's human behavior.
I
So,
know,
I
I
mean,
know.
I get it. I get that there's clicks and all that. I do. But um, I don't know. It just amazes me though, because like anytime, and I've not seen the same thing with you. I'll say this too, and with other creators, like anytime any one of us has been like the target or the our heads up on the chopping block, however you want to put it, and people have come at us. I've never seen you. I've never seen a few other people, nor I don't believe I myself have done this either. Lay any kind of expectations onto those
Mhm.
watching in how they should react. Like I've never seen or heard you come at anyone and say, how you should have my back. You should hate him. How can you forgive this or whatever? And I don't believe I've done that.
No, you haven't.
And there's a few other people in the community I haven't seen do that, you know? So
Yeah.
why is it then these other people just feel like they should? Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, but
Because
like I said, I saw this in the survivors of religious community and every community I've ever been part of. This silly stuff happens where everybody wants you to hate who they like and who they hate and like who they like. And there's just no ground given. They'll keep going after you. And
why do you think that is? Why do you think people like in a big group setting like that, why do you think that that's usually where things go? I mean,
I thought about that a lot and I actually wrote about it in my book a little bit. When you
yeah,
have groups, especially high demand religious organizations, sometimes you get people that come together that form a really tight bond and they keep it's like having a mirror and you're bouncing lasers between a mirror and you're strengthening that signal as time goes on and it's just bouncing back and forth. And I really think
yeah,
that's what it is. A lot of people just get each other wound up and
yeah,
they end up somewhere very different than where they started.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The whole like I guess maybe like positive feedback loop or something. Like if you do a shitty
Yeah.
behavior, but you get feedback that you deem positive, then it's going to only reinforce the shitty behavior. So
Shitty behavior. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just it's sad. I mean, and I'm not saying this in a judgy way because I'm sure that I'm right. I know I'm no different than anyone else in this, in many regards, and definitely this one. Um, so I really got no place to talk. But it's also it's kind of shitty that that's how things go, I guess.
It is shitty. I mean, I think it's ridiculous myself, but it seems to be the way the groups go on the internet. Every group I've ever seen. And look at some of the creators that have gained and lost and gained subs again and some of their behaviors. You're just watching this going, really?
Yeah, yeah. And like I don't know, like I, I try I mean I try not to just it I here's my thing. I know I'm not going to win every argument, win every battle, win every interaction, whatever that I have faced before me. But I'll be damned if I'm going to show the defeat on my face. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
I'm gonna hide it. But some people though, it just seems like they get so wrapped up in being angry that all that goes to the wind. This is a me thing. I get that this is a me thing. This I find hard to understand though. Like I don't keep myself in control when I keep myself in control because I want to be in control. It's because I don't want to show anyone that they got to me. Like I
Yeah,
don't,
I hear you on that. And that's why when there's been a couple times I've come very close to crying on my streams when I was talking about someone stealing my life story. I mean, because that was like
oh wow, yeah,
hits in the heart, but the rest of it is just it's just water under the bridge, more water under the bridge. It's like, okay, I'm waving at you as you're going underneath.
yeah. I mean, that's got to be something, particularly though, kind of messed up. I mean, that's your life, dude. Like that's what you went through. That's your
Right.
your emotions, your feelings, your overcoming, your everything. Like, and then someone to just take it and just apply it to themselves, like it's their shit. That
Yeah.
pissed me off too. Yeah,
Yeah. That's
that way.
my primary core issue with her is that she has stolen so much material.
Yeah. See, I never realized how much she did steal. I just like over like maybe the past 6 months, I've seen and heard more and more instances, and yeah, like these aren't even like things that can be just argued like you guys had similar situations or similar experiences. Nah, man, she stole your shit.
I've said on several other people's stream, when my book comes out, if she starts using any of it, ooh, because it's copywritten, I'll go after her at that point.
Yeah.
I'll strike her channel. So we'll see. We'll see what she does. But yeah, so these groups, they tend to go that way. I mean, I saw that kind of with the Marvin McRae things that people were doing and the groups and saying, oh, this person's not right. That it's the same old thing.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, I know it's, yeah, because like we're all humans are just you're gonna find the same kind of shit in anywhere with
everywhere.
Yeah, you are. I mean, I don't know. And I don't know if it's just something that I've started doing just because I'm older now and just like I ain't got time for this shit or whatever.
Well,
but I
your
stopped.
time gets shorter, you start having less patience for that.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, but life is really so much easier when you stop having so many damn expectations of other people.
Like, exactly. It's easier not to have expectations of others and just like, you do you, boo, and I'll do me. And we'll just go on along because there's nothing else really that matters.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, I hope that they stop giving you shit soon because like this is just ridiculous. I mean,
I'm just laughing over it. I've just muted people left and right and just like, okay, whatever. They're gonna have to try harder. Because what I endured when I left my church, which was 2 years of people harassing me in real life. So if I got through that without killing myself, this is a piece of cake. That's what none of them understand when they start coming after me. It's like, been there, done that, got that tattoo, and I'm just sitting back drinking a margarita, thinking about it.
I've been there and done that so many times. I already regret the tattoo I got from it.
Yeah, I regret the tattoo. I have the battleship.
You got a tattoo of a battleship? Is that what I heard?
No, that's my joke. I always say, I'm going to get a battleship.
Oh,
so somebody starts talking about tattooing, I'll turn to them sometimes and say, let me show you my battleship. Just because it freaks them out so badly. It's a fun one to throw.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, especially when gotten older. So that one's always fun. You should have fun with life. And that's one thing I think about some of these groups is they just get so wound up and furious all the time that I'm just wondering about mental health. I'm wondering about how you can go through life without being happy, because it's gotta impact you. It has to. If you're grinding your teeth and going, oh my God, I gotta make so and so do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Or they're terrible.
I just read a comment saying something like, by forgiving him or whatever, just and still being indifferent to him. Like that's the first step in allowing him back or whatever. And
no way, dude.
Like my thing to this is, okay, obviously no, it's not, but like, okay, this is the internet. Okay, we're not allowing someone back into someone's home. You know, like we're not a family here inside a home and we're bringing back the abusive person or whatever. That's not what's going on here. It's the fucking internet. Okay, so I'm curious. What do you mean? It's the first step in allowing him back. And what if we did allow him back within our circle here? Then how does that affect you? Like, would you know? And it's the expectations, it's the entitlement that people have, in which they can decide these things and dictate. Yes. You know, and and again,
and like I said, I was just looking at those comments about renting and was just shaking my head, going, I can't believe the person said that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. And later on in the tweet thread too, it was stated about how that it sounded like someone was shaming someone for not being able to afford something. But then the tweet author came back and said, no, it was about how he comes at people for one thing when he's guilty of it himself. I'm like, okay, so then it's the hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy of it, yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, no, it's not it. You're missing the point. Like, okay, clearly I'm missing the point here then, or maybe you just fucking hit it. I don't know, but
yeah,
but yeah.
Yeah, if you want to go after him for hypocrisy, have at it. I mean, we all are hypocrites every now and then.
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. Yep. And yeah, hypocrisy is very annoying. And like, I mean, we've all seen Katie Joey do it. I don't know how many times. And it's quite fucking annoying. But usually there's, I don't know. Usually that's something I can look past, but like, I don't know. Some things I can't, but like someone coming after someone for renting and then renting themselves. Yeah, I'm not even going to care about that. Like, I'm moving on, like whatever.
Yeah, I'm definitely not caring about that. That's one of those things that's so silly.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. I don't even know if I want to look at the comments here. I don't know. I think you can allow back whoever you want, but it just weakens your message against others, like KG, for example. Someone, Kendall said, I get what you're saying. Yeah, because if you want to have a strong, steadfast message, but then you go back on it with someone else, I get what you're saying. I don't think I have a message like that though. Like, I mean, like when it comes to Katie, anything I talk about or expose, and I know like Suzanne, I get the same impression from Suzanne anyways. It's that it's not like either one of us are like trying to change things, whatever. We're just putting shit out there, revealing the truth, and y'all do with it what you want, you know? Like,
exactly. I mean, even the stuff I say about the religious world, I'm putting the information out there. I wasn't going to do any more of this after I stopped writing for NLQ, but I got so many people saying, what? Where did you go? That this is what I've been doing instead. And this is a lot harder than writing, I think. Way harder. Because if you're writing, you're thinking about what you're doing and you can lay out your cohesive argument. But here I'm kind of like out in La La Land some days.
Yeah, no, it is. I know exactly what you mean. Like, it's what, I mean, I think that's what made me kind of effective at all when I was like fighting about vaccines on Facebook, because I could sit there and think about shit. I could look shit up. I could get, I had time.
Get your facts and figures together.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And you can like proofread things. You can just, do a rough draft, find whatever. You could take a whole day to come back on a comment if you wanted to. And,
is that where you ran into Katie? Was the anti-vax vaccines? Mm-hmm. I was wondering because she was trying to drag me in and add me all those things. And I just didn't have time for it. And I just kept unjoining.
There was a super secret group we had on Facebook where like a lot of like admins for groups and pages and stuff were members. And it was secret. You can only get joined by invite only.
Okay.
Someone invited her into that group, and that same person ended up kicking her out of the group in less than a week later. It was funny. Yeah. So she and I, we stayed in contact a little bit after that, mostly about like her streaming and sharing like links or information, about specific anti-vaxxers or whatever. But then, that was about it.
I wondered.
Yeah, it was funny though when I seen she messaged me. She's like, "Do you know why so and so kicked me out of the group?" And I'm like, "Isn't that who brought her in?" I'm like, "It's fucking funny. I got to know more about this."
Yeah.
So
it's always awkward. Yeah, so everybody's just going to have to figure out what their thoughts on this stuff is and act on it.
So this book you're writing though, like, how's it going? Like, when do you think you're going to have it out?
Well, I'm hoping by the end of the year. NaNoWriMo starts in a couple days, and I was going to write another novel. I've got like 10 of them written. I've never published, but I decided to concentrate on this. I've got to finish it up. I'm kind of tinkering now and adding in extra stories because some of the stories are kind of outrageous, like the boy that cried masturbate, about the boy that got up and talked about his masturbation habits in the middle of church, as in Jesus, help me stop doing this 50 times a day. And then the
Oh my
time they
God,
did
that's
an
crazy.
exorcism on the stone kid. I mean, just crazy things that happened while I was there.
God.
So every time I think I've gotten everything, I remember something new.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. That's gonna be hard though, to like some things I bet it have to be kind of hard to remember, like just,
Some of them
describe.
were.
What's that?
Some of them were quite hard to remember and pull
Yeah.
up. And there were also times like my husband told me about something that happened at a home Bible study that I didn't even pick up on. And I started thinking about it. I said, well, those two ladies did what he's describing, which is jump up and down and play with angels above them. They did that everywhere they went. So they did it so much that it would be like a senior citizen that went in the center of town and stripped naked and started dancing. You'd stare the first dozen times, but after that, it would just be part of the scenery. And you just go on past. And that's how I think it was with these ladies. Because he was
What do
telling
you
me these
mean?
stories, and I'm like, I don't remember any of this.
What do you mean by playing with angels above them or whatever? I don't understand.
I mean, that they thought that there were angels all around them, and they were like jumping up and down and high five me. Oh, there's an angel
Oh,
playing with
okay.
my hair. And oh, the angels are doing this and that, patty cake, just really crazy stuff. And it didn't even register because I'd seen it so many times that
Right,
it was
right.
just
Yeah,
part
like
of the
yeah,
scenery around me. And I had bigger
right.
fish to fry. I had way crazier people that were doing things. I was like, oh, please, Lord, don't let them tell somebody off for being pregnant and unmarried and, just silly things like that. And now that I'm taking these experiences apart and looking at them, it's like, what was I thinking?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean that I go through that just looking at things from my past and everything. Like, I can't believe that, this shit was okay with me, or I did that, or like,
Yeah.
what was I thinking, And yeah, I mean, it's got to be it's got to be a much different experience. So I think coming out of I don't want to say a cult, but yeah, I guess kind of a cult. Like, would you call
Kind
it a
of,
cult?
sort of, but I don't like to call any church a cult. I just call
Okay.
them high demand religious organizations because they're not all 100% cult. They don't all fit the bite
Right.
model.
Right. I agree. I fully agree. Yeah.
And you can spin off in some weird ways. And I keep telling people that if you're going to have a faith life and go to church, you're better off with a community that's more mainstream so that there is oversight. Where if the pastor
Yeah.
starts telling everybody to buy a gun and practice, somebody at the state level is going to say, oh, no, 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 no. And that happened. I mean, all
Jesus
kinds of
Christ. Oh my
things like
God.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
When
You got.
Y2K happened, we were all ordered to buy generators and stockpile all kinds of crazy things. And I did not
I
do that because I knew enough about computers to know it wasn't going to be like they were saying.
Yeah, that was crazy. I remember when I first heard what that was all about. I'm like, what? Like, there's that many people in the world who think that the whole world is just going to come crashing to an end. Like, modern civilization is just going to cease
Going to end.
because it's 2000. Like, yeah, I get that, these computer systems or whatever weren't, made or whatever with the foresight of, 4-digit years or whatever. But surely, though, by January 30th or by December 30th or 31st or whatever, 2000 or 1999, surely by then they figured the shit out, right? I mean,
You think?
I think, yeah, I mean, humans can be pretty fucking dumb sometimes, sure, but
It can be.
that's crazy. I mean, I have a little bit more faith, I guess, in humankind than that.
Same. And so I never believed it was going to happen. But I was
Right.
surrounded in that community of people that believe things like that I was kind
Yeah.
of side eyeing them, but like, I can't argue with you because you're brother or sister in Christ.
What? Your religion would have let you like argue with them over that shit? Like,
At
or,
one
or
point, the
over anything?
pastor put a sign over the door as you were leaving that said, cease your murmuring and complaining. I mean, it got that bad at one point with people playing the self-righteous game. Well, I stayed up
Yeah.
until 1 a.m. praying for everybody in the church. Oh no, I stayed up till 2 a.m. praying for everybody in the state. So they would like one up each other, and all this crazy stuff happened. And it was just, deconversion has been rough. The first couple of years at least were. After that, I'm kind of like cynically standing off to the side going, why did I believe that?
I mean, I get what you're saying. I do. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone believes some really stupid shit at this point. Like, okay, like when I first heard the whole 9/11 like truther stories, like I kind of bought
Oh
into the
Lord.
whole thing. It's like I could no,
Don't
no,
even
not the whole
start.
thing. I
My
didn't buy
husband
into.
believes that
I didn't.
stuff.
I didn't buy into all of it, but one thing that held me up that I couldn't, this hump, I guess I couldn't quite get over, was how really just jet fuel melted steel beams. Like there had been something else, some other incendiary substance. You know, that's what I couldn't get over. So I kind of bought into that part of it a little bit. Not that it didn't really happen. Of course it happened, or that not that. I don't know. Just I felt like maybe there was a little bit something going on. There's
Well, there could have
something
been.
added to the people. Yeah, I mean that
Yeah,
was
it
my
could
whole
have
thing. But I
been.
mean, I get it though. I get it though. Like how all of us, none of us are immune to it. We all fall for some shit now and then. You know, it's
We all do. That is for true. We sure do. We sure do. All kinds of things. Well, Aaron, I think I'm gonna have to go. My voice is going, and I've got to guzzle some of this crap.
I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Well, I hope you feel better. I hope your voice continues to come back.
I am
And I hope
feeling
you'll,
better all the time. So yeah. Okay, it was great
and yeah.
being here
Okay.
and being
Thanks
able to
for coming
say,
on. Yes.
hey, this crap is just silly, even though I know there's some that are going to carry this to the grave.
Yep. Oh, well, can't save everyone.
Yeah. Okay, I'll see all y'all later.
I'll talk to you later. Bye. Oh, shoot. Okay. All right. So, yay. Thank you for Suzanne for coming on. Yeah, we got the Uni Simpson here. Yep. You're right. Is area. See, though, I look at them this way, though. Like, speaking of cults, you know, there's some people who are coming out of cult. They believe some wild theories, things, or wild crazy things, or whatever. And judging them is only going to further ingrain those beliefs into them. So treat them with kindness and let them do things at their own pace, but help them and support them. So that's how I like to treat the Unisims the same way. Anyway. What was that? How about that weather isn't amazing? What weather? The weather here has been amazing, yes. Oh, I think I know what you're. No, CJ, I don't want her to take her machete with her. I want a machete. Who doesn't want a machete? Come on. Anyway, okay. Before I move on to some things I wanted to, okay, like I said, I'm going to start like this series thing where I'm going to maybe once a week go over like a week or so a timeline in chronological order, the shit that transpired from July 6th until, I don't know, maybe now, we'll see. But like mostly how things came about, like how Katie Joy came in to save the day there for some of the people involved in the whole McRae situation, and then how she just abruptly changed and just turned or flipped the script, as Wynette is quoted as saying, and became so fucking hateful and spiteful. And then when it is exactly that nonsense came into the picture, and how she's just gunning so hard for Molly. I mean, I haven't even counted how many videos are on her channel, but back when her channel was, I think it was 75 days old, around there, she had like 90 something videos all about Molly. And she hasn't slowed down a bit. It's still all about Molly. I mean, there is the only thing second to Molly really is defense and propping of Dre McRae, which I don't care about that. I don't, whatever. It started off though as propping up in defense of Katie Joy, but now it seems that Katie Joy just really wanted her name taken out of the equation as far as all that goes, while still kind of pulling the strings from behind the scenes. Like, that's my opinion. Anyway, this is why, and she even admitted so much on a live stream that she reached out to Unirock, asked him to get involved with his usual ways of like tearing down a fundraiser, calling it a fraud. She admitted that she gave everything she had on the situation. And since that moment, Uni has ran off with it all. And she has just been quiet about things. I mean, you hear like a little hiccup from her every now and then when something happens. But for the most part, and even more so now, it's nothing. It's no comment, post, nothing. No, not even any inclination that it's on her mind. So for someone who felt so strongly about this fraud, she just suddenly stopped caring. No, that's what I wanted to really call out and highlight. But then, like I said, that as I was reading some of these things, there's some other things I felt that really they're important. They should be brought. They should just at least be reminded, discussed, whatever, come to light. I don't know, however you want to put it. But before I get to that, actually, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to run to the bathroom, and I think I'm going to make a drink when I get back. And then I'm going to get into that. But I also want to say something that's probably going to piss some people off, but, you know, it's me, I guess. So we're going to take a minute break. Maybe 2 minutes tops. Okay. So maybe 2 minutes. So we're going to do bathroom and booze break banner. And I'm going to play you guys some awesome music. All right, we're just going to do dance pop. So I'll be back in, we'll say 2 minutes. I can hear it. Okay, now I'm back. Going to make a cocktail real quick, like I said. Now, I'm making the same cocktail I had the other night because I don't really have any other liquor still, and I can't find my dark rum to make this other drink. So it's actually my son's dark rum. I can't find where he put it. But, is that it? Where are my pictures? There we go. Okay. Where is it? Looks like I deleted it. Oh, there it is. Okay, so for those who missed it on last stream, this is called the Nutty Angel. And I'm going to a little something around the rim this. And send messaging. So yeah. Okay, so here's one I want to point at. I just wanted to say it's dawned on me as of late. Is it weird? Is it just me? Okay, and it could be just me. I'll admit that much. But is it weird that I did a stream a couple weeks ago where I came and I laid down my suspicions and everything that Matt didn't exist or that she was arrested and that this was just all like maybe possibly some kind of psyop. There's a whole thing that went down. Is it strange that I did a stream? I came out and said all this and provided my evidence for why I think all this and shit. And no one said anything. Like I was expecting some backlash for it, and which don't get me wrong, I'm very happy I didn't get any. But then it kind of dawned on me, like, why not? Like, why didn't people either get upset or question it or get angry with, that possibly what I said was true or get angry that it's bullshit or, like there's nothing. It's almost like the people who got pissed off about everything else involving that, especially things that I said. It's like all those same people who got that angry before just suddenly didn't want to talk about this. Like they're hoping it would go away almost. That's the impression I got anyways. Is it just me or does that seem kind of fucking weird? I should probably put my chat on before I ask a question. All right, so this is the Nutty Angel. So for those interested, start off the mixer, put ice in it. Okay, then it's 2 parts vodka, but I'm using vanilla vodka. For those who like vanilla vodka, though, my personal preference is not even solely vanilla. It's pinnacle whipped. It tastes just like it, but so much better. So 2 parts that. I'm going to go ahead and just do a whole shot. Then 2 parts Frangelico, which I do not have, but I have hazelnut liqueur, which is the same thing, basically. So, shot of this. Then 2 parts Irish cream. Recipe calls for Bailey's, which I do not have. I have Brian's. Same thing. What? Well, it's all the same thing. It's just generic. I mean, it's an ad that's giving out these ingredients. So I mean, they're probably these liquor companies probably sponsor them, so they have to say the name brand or whatever. Maybe I don't know. And then last ingredient, 1 part dark creme de coco. So for this, so I have 1 shot. I do half a shot because it's only 1 part. Then you shake it. I'm going to mute the microphone while I do, otherwise it's going to be loud as fuck in your guys' ears. Or speakers, whatever. One second. Okay, and then just pour it in your glass and drink it. And clean up any mess you make too. usually really good about it, so I made such a mess tonight. I have to get good, bigger martini glasses than the ones I have, so I can stop using my margarita glasses for martinis. Okay. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay. Again, it's called the Nutty Angel. And the reason I know this drink is I downloaded an app, which I'm having a lot of fun with. Well, I would be having more fun with it if I had more liquor here, but called Cocktail Flow. And it allows you to input whatever like liquor mixers, any other ingredients, spices, or whatever you have around the house. And then it'll tell you exactly what drinks you can make with what you have. So because no matter how good of a bartender one may be, there's no way you're gonna remember every fucking drink. There's no way. There's too many of them. So where's my damn it? I'm gonna turn my fan down, but I guess I can't find the remote. Anyway, moving on. Let me check chat here, and then I'm gonna go on to doing what I want to next. This it is good, Tiffany. It's very good. See, I don't like to fuck around. Like life's too short, like me and Suzanne were saying. So I'm not gonna sit here and just drink beers or White Claws, but I do kind of like White Claws, and I'll say that much. So unless it's like an all-day event, I'm not gonna sit here and just sip on shit. I want booze, but I don't want it to taste like booze. So I like strong drinks that you don't realize how strong they are. This is one of those drinks because it tastes too good to be that strong. So, oh yeah, let me turn it off. Enter. Right. Okay, so I was listening to part of one of Nonsense's live streams as of late and recently, and it's annoying. It just she has to be doing this shit on purpose to gaslight people, because there's no way that anyone's that fucking stupid and naive, right? I mean, this has to be a choice. It has to be purposeful. It can't be just like happenstance, right? That's my opinion, anyways. So, and it dawned on me, like, well, here she is. There's this channel, and there's a few other like channels I think she has working in tandem with her, who want to, for some reason, rewrite history and just forget about all the other shit that was discussed, realized, or that happened or transpired. And that's fine if that's what they want to do. I don't care. Except in the process of doing that, they're trying to push this narrative that Katie was right about shit. That's where I think many of us just kind of became invested in the story a little bit, and myself included. So, and there's only so much of that you can take before you're just going to want to correct the record, And that's all I wish to do. I'm not coming for anyone. I don't care to. But I'm going to spend a little bit of time and just go over things that happen. It is, I'm going to give you my words, my opinion. I'm going to read shit that it was actually said and what really happened by those involved. Okay. So you can try to frame it any way you want, but I mean, you're going to have a hard time changing the context that's already provided. So I don't know. Yes, anything's possible. So to start with, I meant to have it pulled up. Sorry. I feel like my hair looks really like shit. I don't know why. Where's my binder? So I'm going to start with by reading. The reason why I'm going up to the 10th with this is because I believe that's when the first video Katie put out was on. It was right around there then, or at least the first one I can find anyways. I'm not going to go into the video or anything tonight because I don't want to go into the whole video. So I don't want to commentate on the whole thing. I just want to go listen through quickly and just pull high points and whatever from it, I guess. I don't know. That's what I care to do, but I haven't done that yet. So we're not going to do that tonight. Right now, I hate my computer. I do. I hate my computer. As soon as my downloads load, I'll be able to start. Oh, look at that. Okay, so we have July 6th. It's coming. I just loaded it to a tab. It's just loading now. It's annoying, you know. There's only 4 in that window, so I think I'm going to load 7 too. Okay, so here we go. July 6th. Presents. And again, I understand if people don't want to stick around for this or whatever. I get it. And honestly, there's a reason why I haven't bothered to do this entire time, but just hearing just how much they keep fucking like twisting shit now and everything. It's annoying. I get annoyed by shit like that most of the time. And it's a me thing. It's probably even a me problem, but it's my channel. July 2nd, July 6th. What the? Oh, yeah, the wrong one. Right. Want to check chat before I start reading, just in case. Yeah, if anyone has something they want to say or whatever, catch my attention, just tag me in it. Otherwise, I'm probably not going to see it because I don't pay a whole lot of attention to chat because I don't know, I'm talking shit. I just learned that red wine and cream soda was the thing. What? Get the fuck out of here. I never heard that. Red wine and cream soda? That'd probably be about the only way I could drink red wine, though, to be honest. I can't stand red wine. Or anyone, really. I have to be like the only middle-aged woman in the world that fucking hates wine. Yay, Sassy Nas, member for 20 months. Yeah. Hey, Sassy. Hey, Bjorn. Bless Chris. Ask Alice. Hey, Billy Martin. Okay, all right. Not seeing anything. So I'm going to start reading. So we have 1. So this is the post by Katie Joy that pretty much introduced to her followers to the situation. And below she had, I don't think she posted about it before then. She attached the Yuma Police Department police report. I'm not going to go through that though. I'm not. Because that's not what I'm focusing on. I'm not focusing on exactly what transpired that night that landed Vaughn there in the hospital. That's not the point of what I'm doing. So, my personal opinion on things, and again, I'm not an expert. What do I know? My personal opinion, though, is that pretty much what the report says is pretty much what happened. So that's where I land on it. Anyway, moving on. So this is July 6th. Makeup beauty influencer Dre McRae, who has a page, Slay with Dre, with over 600,000 followers, husband, has been in a coma since May 23rd, 2022. Dre has been updating fans on TikTok and Facebook, but has remained vague about the details of how her husband ended up in the coma or in the hospital in a coma. She had been trying to treat her husband's seizure disorder with natural remedies, including kratom, and had him off all of his seizure medications. She had also changed their diet to a vegan alkaline diet, which led to both of them losing a considerable amount of weight. She told her following that she was going to heal her husband with her mixture of kratom and herbs that she learned about online. Since early June, she has refused to allow her husband's mom and dad from seeing him in the hospital. She has attempted to withhold food from his feeding tube because she felt the food was giving him a bad reaction. She also stated that he had no brain activity, and doctors told her that he would never recover. Dre refused to tell her mother-in-law about the cause of his injuries. Marvan's mother found out through police, not from Dre, that he attempted to unalive himself on 5/23. She found out by requesting a copy of the police report from the incident. Dre has been using her platform to raise money for her husband and has gained a large following. However, she had misled followers to believe the injury was a result of a seizure. I don't recall that, but okay. Now, Marvan's mother mom is trying to fight to get to see her son before he passes away. Dre has moved her husband numerous times over disputes with the hospital about their policies or the prognosis they have given her about Marvon. A movement has formed online called Justice for Vaughn to seek answers about what happened to Marvon McRae and ensure that his family can see him before he dies. See, there kind of pisses me off. Because from the get-go, she knew exactly what all this was for. She knew what the group was for. She knew what the fundraising for. The movement was formed online to seek answers about what happened to Marvon and ensure that his family can see him before he dies. She knew from the get-go exactly what this was all about. Pointing that out. This update was shared in the public group. Dre has been posting videos on all platforms claiming to heal her husband and using her faith to show her following that she can heal him. She's a Jehovah's Witness. I'm not sure what that means. Okay. So we have, this is from July 6th as well. While her husband sits on life support, Dre McRae regularly posts selfies, goes live, and dresses to the nines to sit at Marvon's bedside. Vaughn has been in a coma since May 23, 2022, after he attempted to unalive himself. His mother updated followers today that she just learned about the attempted unaliving from police, not from her daughter-in-law. Former fans began to get concerned about Vaughn when Dre went live, let everyone know that she got him off all his medications for epilepsy. She also changed his diet to a vegan, plant-based diet with low fats and calories. Over the past year, they have both lost a considerable amount of weight. Dre played around with herbs and other remedies to heal her husband. She frequently spoke about how they were using kratom to manage his seizures and pain. Kratom is not approved, but for use of epilepsy or regulated by the FDA. Dre's happy demeanor and evasiveness to questions continue to spawn outrage by former fans and Marvon's family. Marvon's family has not been allowed to see him since he entered the hospital. Dre has attempted to withhold food from her husband at the hospital to the point that she argued about allowing him to fast while he was on the ventilator. She scoffed at the doctor's expertise and claimed he wouldn't die from fasting. He's lost over 20 pounds since being in the hospital. Dre recently privated her TikTok, deleted numerous posts on Instagram, and has been blocking people asking about the police report. She went live last week degrading Vaughn's family and detailing his entire life history and intimate details about his life to fans. Fans are starting to worry that the restrictive diet and holistic herbs she gave to Vaughn contributed to his seemingly depressed state. Some noted that he appeared more and more unhappy in the days leading up to the attempted unaliving. Vaughn is not expected to recover, and doctors have tried to counsel Dre to remove him from life support. She's refusing and has moved hospitals multiple times. Online, she is repeatedly misleading her fans, getting cash donations, and claiming her hands and Jehovah are healing Vaughn. She claims to be a Jehovah's Witness, though she uses numerous substances that would not be in line with Jehovah's Witnesses. Despite all of this, she remains the power of attorney over her husband. When she learned that the VA would allow visitors to see Vaughn regardless of her POA, she had moved to a private hospital where his mother has been unable to see him. His family is desperate to see Vaughn before he dies, and most importantly, find out what happened to Vaughn. Dre appeared agitated and angry in the days leading up to Vaughn's attempted unaliving. Some are fearing that Dre's belief that she can cure her husband led to the situation he finds himself in today. The family just wants answers. For those interested in learning more about the situation, there's a public group here, etc. Exposed is also covering the story. Okay. Wait, that was 3. Oh, shoot, I missed. No, wait, that was 2. All right, 3. This is the next post on July 6th. Here, Dre McRae spits on her husband, who is in life support because saliva communicates with him. And I wanted to show this one for a second here because in a later video, it was a video she did in August, I believe. I know it was August. I'm just not positive on the date. She talks about how she was misled. She was duped by the Justice for Vaughn group. how they were telling her a false narrative, and that's why she came to the conclusion she came to that you're hearing about right now from these posts. And this is one thing she brings up. She mentions how she spoke out against her spitting on Vaughn there in the hospital, doing it on a live stream. Like, this dude, that's fucking disgusting. What are you doing? Like, so degrading. And she then says, I was led to believe that she was doing this like as a control measure or something or whatever, not because it was because she really believed that saliva could communicate with him and heal or whatever. And excuse me for a second, I'm being second here. Yeah, okay. So she's,
Is that the year?
yes, it is exactly what I was looking for. Thank you so much. Little ear covers for the Bluetooth things. I always throw them out. I didn't have any because I always throw them out. But hey, he found some. So, anyways, in the video in August, like I'm saying, she's claiming that she was led to believe that she was doing this from a place of degradation rather than a place of like misguided belief or some shit. She says this much. And then she says, then I found out that she was doing it because she really believed that she could communicate, that her saliva would heal him or whatever. Well, here, she clearly knew that that was the case on July 6th. She knew then that Dre was doing this because she believed that saliva communicated with him and that she was communicating with him by spitting on him. Yeah. So, just want to point it out. 4. And this one, here's Dre McRae huffing nitro live on Facebook a few years back. The same woman who believes her hands can heal her husband. Yes, she was huffing a thing of whipped cream there. It looks like she was huffing. It looks like whipped cream anyway. Which yeah, that's kind of fucked. Like, just why would you leave yourself open? Like you're gonna do this shit. You don't do it with you leave video evidence. I mean, what the? That's just. I don't know. But you should seriously don't fucking huff at all. It's honestly like one of the more, in my opinion, one of the more dumber substances to really get involved in. Like there's way better ones out than that. Ones won't kill you as quickly. Anyway. So let me check that here before I go into the next folder. Uncle Sal, you kill me. I'm not going to read that though. You are special, CJ. You're very special. Thank you, Grace Case. Oh my God. Yes, exactly. Why an alkaline diet when the hydrochloric acid will render that a waste of money? Exactly. You can drink all the alkaline water you want. The second this shit hits your stomach acid, it doesn't matter. And really, you don't want to lower your blood pH, even if you could, because then you'll die. Like seriously, your organs and shit will shut down. Like there's a very, very small little like pH gap in your blood where you must remain living. So you really don't want to fuck with it too much. And this whole thing, like how sugar feeds cancer cells. That's why you want to go alkaline, so you starve the cancer cells. Well, all cells require sugar, require fuel, carbohydrates to live. All cells. So if you're going to starve out the cancer cells, well, you're going to starve out all your cells. Like, yeah, no. Okay, I'm going back to the other folder now. So let me close out. All right, so this is from, this is the 7th. Why didn't I name that one? What is that one? What is this? Oh, what the? I don't know what that is. I don't know what I just downloaded. It's weird. Oh, no, they can't be one. That's right. All right, because 5 is the next number in line. All right, so 5. This is from July 7th. Oh, come on. All right, that is better. Dre McCray calls the formula that the hospital feeds Marvin via feeding tube poison. Marvin is receiving a full, complete liquid formula. But Dre says it's not alkaline and she doesn't like the ingredients. She's instead opted for a non-complete blended food that isn't easily run through a feeding pump. It's a lot of fucking information for Katie to know, right? Isn't it? Like, how would you even learn this information? I'm curious. She just entered the story, just entered the situation, learning about it. Where did she learn that already that Trey was doing this? I mean, because I don't think anyone would have learned this. I think the only person who might have known would be the hospital staff and Dre. So which one of them told Katie? That's what I want to know. Anyway. She demanded the doctors continue to withhold food from her husband. The nutritionalist tells her that Marvin has lost over 20 pounds due to lack of nutrition. Trey says that's okay because he's not moving. She believes the food is killing him. Only her food will heal him. She also believes her saliva and hands will heal Marvin. Marvin's family says Dre alienated him from the family. He was attempting to reunite with them before his attempted unaliving. They also claim that an argument with Dre spiraled him into a depressed state before the attempted unaliving. None of his family receives any private updates on his health. They find out online. See, so who the fuck told Katie all that shit? That's what I want to know. Dre will not speak to them, answer questions, or let them see him. They are desperate to see their son and say goodbye. Some are pushing for a police investigation into Dre for potentially causing the event that led to Vaughn's coma. Please share and continue to spread these updates, hashtag, and okay. And consider joining the Justice for Vaughn page. 6. Again, on July 7th. In July 2021, Dre McCray was kicked out of a hospital because she was making bad decisions for her husband. Dre was attempting to interfere with the treatment of Vaughn's seizures. She wanted to control the medications Vaughn received. The hospital staff then demanded they show her their marriage certificate. She claims that Vaughn doesn't want medication. She took him off all his medications because she believed she could treat his seizures on her own. I wonder if that's true, why we even go to the ER? Because what do you think the ER is going to do? They're going to give him fucking medication, right? So if he doesn't want medication and you're being his advocate and telling the doctors, no, don't give him that, he doesn't want medication, then why even bring him? Why are you not advocating beforehand and saying, no, you're not going to go there because you're going to get medication? I don't know. Her daughter also had seizures. Lots of people around Dre getting seizures that she's in charge of caring for and trying to heal them. Vaughn had no history of seizures until 2 years ago when Dre became a self-proclaimed medical healer and herbalist. Then his health began to decline as she fed him more and more herbs and K. By K, she means kratom. Kratom. Vaughn was a Marine that was physically strong and capable. His family reports no history of illness until getting involved with Dre. And from what I understand, that much is accurate. Although I don't think she is the cause of the seizures. I do think the seizures are real. I do think her daughter had seizures. And at one point, Joy even claimed that her chickens started getting seizures. So I do believe that. And I do believe that there was a connection possibly. I mean, again, far from any kind of fucking expert. But, and since it would have been Marvin's stepdaughter, there's no blood relation there. So chances are, if there was a cause, it was likely environmental. And that's where I think her being a paparazzi consultant comes into play and being a very successful one and very high volume one. So, and by that, I mean, like, she saw out of this cheap jewelry, so she's got to have a shit ton of it all throughout her home, probably boxes of it. And these cheap pieces of jewelry were found to have like lead, like I think arsenic in them. and they were actually causing health problems for a lot of other people who were around it all the time. So I think that's might have had a role to play. Maybe again, not an expert. Oh, this might be hard to read. I don't think I got it all. Shit. I might have to pull it up for real and read it. Forgot about that one. I was doing it on the laptop and I thought it would come out better, but it didn't. Two. Go away. Right. Let me just put the date in. Was that the 7th? July 7. Okay, how did it start? Without a crystal ball, can exclusively report details. Okay, I got it. There we go. So let me just switch the screen tab here. There we go. Okay, so without a crystal ball, can exclusively report details surrounding the events that occurred leading up to Dre McCrae's husband, Vaughn McCrae, ending up in a coma. Without a crystal ball request, I fucking hate it when she does that, but whatever. Katie Joy sent a copy of the police informational report from Yuma Police and spoke to Vaughn's mother, Letitia Bias, today for over 2 hours. We are releasing the report with the full consent of Letitia, who wants her son's story to be heard. Dre McCrae has posted dozens of videos on the topics, which are all viewable on her page, Play with Dre McCrae. Without a crystal ball, Katie Joy has not spoken directly to Dre. See, why even add that in there? That's just strange, because, you know, that tells me, yeah, you probably fucking did. In my opinion. Letitia Bias tells us that her son, Vaughn, is the most loving, kind-hearted, and the healthiest kid she had out of her 5 children. Vaughn rarely went to the doctor. He injured his knee in the Marines, but he never had epilepsy or seizures until recently, within the last few years, quote unquote. Letitia was concerned about her son's relationship with Dre because they met when Vaughn was only 3 years into his career as a Marine. He was still finding himself and learning how to do life on his own. Letitia admits that Vaughn's life wasn't perfect. She did make mistakes as a mother, which resulted in a charge for passing a bad check. She completed a short time in jail, never went to prison, and her case was dismissed after paying full restitution. I was a young mom trying to feed my kids, quote unquote. Vaughn was Letitia's second child. See, I always forget that. And she was only 16 when he was born. Her first child, a daughter, was born when she was 14. While she was in jail, she got her life together. Her grandmother helped by watching Vaughn and her daughter. By the time Vaughn was 7, he was back living with Letitia and her husband full-time. Letitia says life wasn't always perfect, but she did the best she could. Vaughn was a mild-mannered kid that rarely raised his voice. Even when he argued with his siblings, Vaughn was just the calmest kid, she said. It should say she said, but she's not writing that down. Vaughn had his eyes set on graduating high school and joining the U.S. Marines. Vaughn's dream was to become a Marine. He prepared for a long time to reach that goal and was so proud when he started boot camp. Vaughn loved everything about being a Marine, and he was well liked by fellow Marines, she said. Former Marines who worked with Vaughn in the Marines describe him as, quote, born to be a Marine. No one took their service more seriously than Vaughn. Vaughn graduated from boot camp at Parris Island and was stationed in Yuma, Arizona. In Yuma, he met Andrea Rodriguez. Immediately, Letitia had concerns about their relationship. Andrea was 5 years older than Vaughn. She had 2 children and was divorced. Letitia expressed her concerns that her son was moving too fast. I'm sorry, I have a mother. I'm a mother. I have a 27-year-old son. If he hooked up with some chick who was 32 and divorced with 2 kids, I would trust him to do what was best for him, but I'd be like, you sure about this? Now, had he been like 21 when that happened, someone 5 years older, I'd be like, dude, what are you doing? What? I know what he's thinking. I'm not going to say it. I know what he's thinking. And I said the same thing then too. Anyway. Concerns about moving too fast. She wanted him to take time to enjoy his youth, work, and not rush into marriage. Once she had the conversation with Vaughn, he cut contact off with her. However, he didn't just cut contact with her. He cut off everyone in his life. Former friends and buddies from boot camp say that Vaughn's entire life became Dre and her girls. Within 7 months of meeting, she was pregnant. They married within a year. Vaughn became more and more reserved and isolated. When he injured his knee, Letitia says that he discharged from the Marines at his wife's encouragement. After leaving the Marines, Vaughn lost touch with everyone in his life. Letitia and his siblings all found themselves blocked by Vaughn on social media and frequently learned about his life through Dre's live videos. In early May 2022, Letitia and her daughter were shocked to learn that Vaughn wanted to speak to them. On May the 4th, the family had an over 2-hour call with Vaughn, and they followed up with text messages. The last time she heard from Vaughn, he told her that he loved her and was always thinking about her. Vaughn told his sister that a lawsuit that he filed against a hospital and doctor for a botched operation in 2016 resulted in a settlement this year. Letitia said the couple came into a considerable chunk of money in January 2022. They purchased a new truck and RV. Letitia was excited about her restored relationship. 2 weeks later, her son was allegedly found by Dre McCrae in their shed following an argument. According to the police report, Dre said that the couple had been arguing for 2 days. They slept in separate rooms the night before the incident. Dre told police that Vaughn woke up at 7:15 a.m. He went to the bathroom to wash up. When he came into the kitchen, Dre wanted to give him tea, kratom, which Vaughn did not want to take. Dre stated that they argued for quite some time over the tea. She also weaved in a story about how her husband was verbally abusive and he changed after visiting a physical therapist in 2019. Following the appointments, she said that he would change and she would leave the house. She also claimed he had some medical condition, which she told him to go to the doctor for, but she doesn't know if he ever made the appointment following the fight, right? I just don't know if he ever made the appointment. But she doesn't know if he ever made the appointment. Following the fight, Dre says that Vaughn walked out of the house and, okay. She followed him outside and found him there in the shed. The timeline is fuzzy and not direct. Within the span of 1 hour, he had woken up, cleaned up, argued with her for a long time, then went into the shed and unalived himself. He was not breathing when she got him down. There was a wound to his left arm. Dre was noted to be erratic and agitated during her interview, which, who the fuck would it be? I don't know. That's my take on that one. I don't know. Police attempted to follow up with him, but Dre moved Vaughn numerous times. Although in the police report, the officer clearly writes about how he followed up. Anyway, a representative at Yuma Police Department tells Katie Joy that the investigation is currently closed. The representative stated that unless new evidence were to materialize, the case will remain closed. Letitia is concerned about the details of her son's last moments. She also learned about his health online. Within 4 days of learning about his condition, Dre took out a restraining order against her, citing fearing for her safety. A review on messages between Dre and Letitia show no threats. The TRO expired on June 30th. Now, I want to just address this here for a second. Because Katie now likes to say how there was never any order taken out on Letitia. You know, she lied or whatever. There was never any order produced. It never existed. Well, it must have existed enough for Katie to then report it as fact, right? I mean, clearly she, being the reporter she is, she would have done her due diligence, right? I mean, if she didn't do that here, but she's claiming that it existed, what the fuck else has she lied about? I mean, it could be anything. It could be everything, because so much of reporting is so much the same as this, so similar. I mean, I don't know. Okay. Earlier today, Dre sent a text message to Letitia telling her that she can now see her son. But Letitia says that she doesn't know what to do because of the previous TRO. Letitia tells Katie Joy that Vaughn's father, Marvon Sr., was able to see his son before he was transferred from the VA hospital, before son was transferred, that is. Staff helped coordinate a time for him to visit after Dre left. Letitia said Marvon noticed burn marks around his neck. They had no idea about the broke prior to seeing his neck. Since Vaughn's incident, Letitia says the police reported that there is no brain activity. The police reported. Okay. Vaughn will never recover from the incident and was without oxygen for a long period of time. Letitia also says that Dre was kicked out of 2 hospitals, one for filming at Vaughn's bedside and a hospital in Phoenix for giving Vaughn herbs and unregulated products not approved by staff. Letitia says at this point she wants to see her son. I want to hold his hand, kiss his face, and tell him that Mama loves him. She also said, given his prognosis, that she knows that Vaughn would not want to live this way. This is just torture, she says. To know that he will not survive and she won't let him go peacefully is killing me. Here is the full police report. Katie Joy also requested the body cam video, but that is still being processed. No, even that she lied about. It wasn't still being processed. She was still waiting for, an answer back if she was allowed to have it or not, because they replied to her and said, no, yeah, you can't have that. So. Okay, and there's one more in this folder, I think. Oh, wait, sorry, I'm not in the folder anymore. Okay. I knew I should have restarted my computer before I started, because then it'll be moving a little bit faster than it is, but at least it's still moving. Wait, was that the last one? Yep, that was the last one in that folder. Okay, my bad. So let me pull up the next one. Okay, this is July 8th. Put it right up there. Here we go. Let me check chat real quick. We having a fight here about Whole Foods? We don't have a Whole Foods where I live. I've never even been in one before. Oh, are you talking about the Oreos? Is that where you're getting all the Oreos from? Different kinds. Oh, hazel. My mom for breakfast. Very strange, but this is what she had for breakfast every morning. She made tea. She loved tea, and she would sometimes, once in a while, she would take graham crackers and dip her graham crackers in the tea. But 9 out of 10 times, she would take Oreo cookies, name brand, regular Oreos, and dip them in tea. That was her breakfast. And she was like 90 pounds, so it would have killed me. But yeah. So there's you can maybe try that sometime, Juju, be on your street and see how the Oreos really taste in tea. Okay. So what am I at? I'm 8. Okay, so now we're in July 8th. And there's not much more here to read, but the good ones are coming up. July 8th. Many family, friends, and supporters of Marvon McRae have updated their profile pictures with this photo. More and more of Vaughn's Marine friends are coming forward sharing stories about their friend. All of them share the same story. Vaughn cut off contact with them after he got deeper into his marriage with Dre McRae. Family wants justice for Vaughn for what happened to him in May. Police say the case is closed. Dre McRae told police that Vaughn attempted to unalive himself after the two of them argued. So there's that one. 9. Okay. Andrea McRae is now attempting to blackmail Vaughn's mother into retracting everything she has shared about her son online. Andrea told Letitia she could only see Vaughn if she publicly retract everything. Andrea wrote, I do not agree to the extent you've exposed such personal and private information about my husband. You can only imagine the horrific demeanor in which I saw him. Being blamed for his doing has only increased what a nightmare it was to see him in that state, which is why I shielded this from the public. I welcome you with open arms. If you can agree to make a public statement outlining that we are in communication to arrange visitation, and that all the threats and harassment toward me, my children, my family, my friends, and my close associates need to cease. With that being done, again, we can move forward into working together. Also, I have never obtained any sort of restraining order against you. Letitia, I'm looking forward to your reply. No one is blaming Andrea for any involvement based upon statements made by Letitia. In comments on our page, we are seeing people clearly state it's Dre's behavior, her words, and her actions that have led them to believe there's more to the story. Letitia is fighting to find a lawyer to handle the situation legally to see her son. She will not be intimidated nor waver from her beliefs that there is more to the story than Dre is telling everyone. No one is threatening the children. In fact, most people are deeply worried about the children's safety and trying to alert CPS about the herbs and K Dre is giving her children. It is not Letitia that posts intimate videos of Vaughn on life support, licked him, spit on him, and shared every detail about his life with the public to sway the public opinions against his family. That was true. And she shared your text messages between Dre and Letitia. So 10 is the text messages. So in an effort to reduce the danger you put me and my family in, I'm reaching out to offer you the opportunity to see Marwan. I've always offered to communicate with you should you reach out and inquire about my husband, and that offer still stands. Oh, apparently, wait, 9, 10, 11, I can't count apparently. To which Letitia replied, "Hi, Dre, thanks for reaching out to me. Your family's safety is very important to me. I would never do anything to jeopardize that. I would love to see my son. I would love to put any differences aside and move forward and put what's more important at the forefront. Marwan, please, I pray this message is real and we'll make arrangements as soon as I can." Seeing him. Thank you. You're welcome. I've always encouraged communication between us. Marwan is no longer in such a critical state as he was in the last time we spoke. He has been improving every single day and is less at risk receiving visitors. Although I appreciate you saying you wish no harm on my family, your deliberate actions have shown otherwise. Okay. I do not agree to the extent you've exposed such personal and private information about my husband. Okay. You can only imagine the horrific demeanor in which I saw him. Being blamed for his doing has only increased what a nightmare it was to see him in that state, which is why I shielded this from the public. I welcome you with open arms if you can agree to make a public statement outlining that we are in communication to arrange visitation, that all the threats and harassment toward me, my children, my family, my friends, and my close associates need to cease. With that being done, again, we can move forward into working together. Also, I've never obtained any sort of restraining order against you, Letitia. Looking forward to your reply. And then lastly, on July 8th, Katie posted, "Please join me for a live stream to unpack the situation we find ourselves in between Vaughn McRae's family and Dre McRae." And this, I believe, was the first one she did. Again, though, like I said, I'm not going to be going over that right now because I haven't gone through that video yet. So that will be next stream. Next, we'll do the videos throughout the time period. But I have right now almost done. Okay. What did I leave off? Wait. Is it 15? I don't have 14 there, right? No, okay. So 15, okay. July 9th. Wait, let me check chat real quick. And we're almost done. There's only, like, most of the screenshots here are text messages I'm reading. They're like over half of them. And then the next folder has like one screenshot in it. So that's all. Then we're done. The message doesn't read like the others. Oh, you see, no, I know, during Uncle Sound, you're right. You're absolutely right. From what I understand, the admins from the group Justice for Vaughn helped Letitia pen that message, much like Dre was on live stream asking her viewers what she should say to Letitia. Again, though, like they both signed off on it when they hit the send button. So just because it's not their words, it still kind of is their words, in my opinion. But yeah, no, you're right. But it's funny you mentioned that, though, because that one of the Dono gals there, the Danielle one, she shared screenshots of a conversation between her and Letitia. It started on, I think, Nonsense's page, and then it spilled over into DMs. But the screenshot she shared, in my opinion, they were clearly not written by Letitia. So I'm kind of curious who penned those. Like, how did that come to be? That's what I'm kind of curious about. So I see exactly what you're talking about. You're right. Okay, so here we go. July 9th. Last night, I interviewed one of Dre's former admins who spent 10 days at her home. I am going to continue to bring the story light. Please let me know if you are a friend, family member, or former admin that would be willing to share your insight on Dre and Vaughn. Brittany shared details that literally had our mouths on the floor about Dre. Dre flew her out to Oceanside, California to help, but then forced Brittany to do everything for her for 10 days. Dre said she would pay Brittany to help her. She flew her out. Brittany cooked 4 meals a day, took care of the kids, cleaned, and taught the kids their homeschool. She was not allowed to even speak to her husband or friends without permission from Dre. When Dre found out that Brittany was not happy with how she was treated, Dre demanded Brittany pay her for her flight, food, and time she spent at her home. Dre smeared Brittany and kicked her out of all the groups. Brittany dedicated years to helping Dre and was devastated. Vaughn was so kind to Brittany and tried his best to smooth things over, but he had no pull over Dre. Brittany said Vaughn did everything for Dre and treated her like a queen. It was never enough for Dre. I'm hoping to elevate more of these stories, so please let me know if you would like to share. Tips can be sent, etc. Okay. So 16. Tonight I will be interviewing Vaughn McCrae's family, who love him more than anything and want answers about what happened to him. In February 2022, Vaughn started reconnecting with his family. In fact, he reached out to his stepmother and father. From February until the time of his alleged unaliving attempt, Vaughn spoke to his father, Marvin Sr. Marvin Sr. told with Katie Joy today that the conversations he had with Vaughn were always monitored by Dre. He was speaking in codes, he said. He told me in a roundabout way that he wanted to come to Georgia, but that he knew Dre would not allow him to go. When I asked Marvin about Vaughn's demeanor leading up to May, Marvin said that he could sense that Vaughn was unhappy in his marriage. He said, I think Vaughn wanted to leave his marriage. He wanted to come to Georgia to be back with his family. Vaughn's stepmother, Wynette Jackson, told Katie Joy that they only met Dre one time in 2015. Wynette said she was very controlling. All communication had to go through her. She wouldn't allow calls to go through. Despite the distance, the family never gave up hope reconnecting. They were thrilled to find out Vaughn wanted to connect this past winter. The family said that Vaughn had never been a drug or alcohol abuser. His life as a Marine was his priority. When he discharged from the Marines, Vaughn's entire life was allegedly controlled by Dre. On a live stream in September 2021, Dre admitted that no one was allowed to speak to Vaughn directly. All communication goes through me, Dre said. When Marvin Sr. learned about his son's medical emergency, he and his wife drove across the country to see him. We spent our savings to make sure we could be there, Wynette said. When they got to the hospital, they were approached by an irate Dre who demanded they be removed from the hospital. They had no idea Dre was live streaming at the time. Despite Dre's efforts to block them, the VA refused to deny Vaughn's family from visiting. The couple were able to sit with Vaughn and visit over multiple days. The VA also had to restrict Dre's time with them because she attempted to prevent the parents from seeing him by staying all day. During their visits, they noticed an apron around his neck. The couple had no idea that there was an alleged unaliving attempt. Through police, they learned that a high level of kratom was found in Vaughn's system on the day of his alleged attempt. Due to Dre's behavior, lack of transparency by her, and the suspicious circumstances around the events leading up to the incident, they remain convinced there is more to the story. Something happened to my son. I feel like I failed my son because I didn't get him away from her, Marvin Sr. said. He also expressed outrage at the way Dre has treated Vaughn's condition as a means to make money and profit from. Watching her go live like nothing, it makes no sense. She spit on my son, they said. The couple spoke to police, who stated they closed the case. Marvin Sr. said the detective told him to go through the police report and let him know if there's any information he could provide. Knowing their son's life at stake, they want justice for what happened. Tonight, some of Vaughn's family will join me for an interview to reveal what they saw at the hospital, and it looks like that's all I have there. 17. Next, she posted, the live stream with Vaughn McCrae's family will start at 5:30. There could be a bit of a delay to coordinate. 18. Here's where the text messages come. Dre told police that Vaughn McRae changed in 2019 after going to a physical therapist. She lied to police about where he went, but Vaughn did change. Vaughn wanted to leave Dre. These text messages have been provided by a source who's friends with the couple. The texts are between Dre and Vaughn. Dre sent these messages to numerous friends when she and Vaughn were going through a separation. These texts have been shared with Vaughn's family before publishing them. Multiple sources say that in 2019, Vaughn sought treatment with a psychologist and psychiatrist after leaving the military. Due to serious stress he faced at home with Dre, Vaughn made the decision to separate from Dre to take care of his mental health. Sources allege that Dre had become very unpredictable, controlling, controlled his social media, withheld money from him, monitored his phone calls, recorded him without his knowledge, and made him completely dependent upon her. When he started therapy, he realized he needed to make his mental health a priority. He believed staying with Dre was dangerous for him. Dre looked to rent a home. Vaughn looked to stay at a hotel to try to sort out his life. However, Dre had given him access to money to leave. Meanwhile, he found out that she was stashing money away from him. He couldn't pay for food. She scolded him for setting up a savings account at the VA. Vaughn wanted to go home to see his family, but Dre wouldn't let him leave. During this period, he told her that he felt he was in danger in her presence. He's breaking up ice. He didn't want to sleep in the same room as her and needed space to manage his stress. Friends said that Vaughn had reached his breaking point and wanted out of the marriage, but Dre wouldn't let him go. Vaughn eventually gave in and gave up trying to leave, but his fears that he was in danger were allegedly valid. In late 2019, he began getting sick and developed seizures. Dre put them on a restrictive diet. Families say that he looked like he was being starved. No one had access to Vaughn but Dre. As her grip got tighter, he still tried to reconnect with family. In February 2022, he reconciled with his family. He allegedly confided in several people that he wanted to leave the marriage. Dre brought up the 2019 issues to police. The 2019 issues were that Vaughn wanted to end marriage. Now, the text messages she's talking about are as follows. Which they're out of order. I tried to put them in order, but it wasn't happening. So, convo one. Okay. Let me check that before I get into these real quick. And like, there's just these text messages and 3 more screenshots. And then that's, I think I'm gonna end it. I think. I don't know. Let me refresh this page too real quick. Okay. Yep, exactly. Exactly, Dirty on South. That's exactly what I'm doing. Well, that's why I started doing this. Was my main and only really intention. Like you said, and looking back at it and reading it, we can watch the breakdown of the relationship between the family and Katie. And in addition to her beginning to shift the narrative and her departure, exactly. That was my whole reason for starting. But then I noticed other things too that would come to light. And so now I have like a couple of reasons for doing it, but that's my first and foremost reason. You're right. Absolutely right. Okay. And like I said, these are not in order. Vaughn says, Andrea, can you give me a $2,000 loan? I promise I will pay it back. Marvon, why would you need $2,000? So I can have something for when I leave. I'm getting seen, but it won't happen overnight. I can't even believe I'm asking you this because I have nothing else. But I have nothing else. Please. So you can have something for when you leave where? And you're getting seen where? Marvon, I have no idea what you're even talking about. Can you please provide more details? I can't stay in the house until I get checked out on Monday. I'm just asking. It's just too much to get into right now. Marvon, so you need $2,000 to provide for you until Monday? This makes no sense. If it's too much for you to get into, how do you think and like some of these I think were a mess too. Combo 1, combo 2. How do you think I don't know. I don't even know if this is the same text message carrying over. I'm just going to start reading it from the beginning of the first full sentence I see. There are probably things you've been looking up or hiding that you don't want me to find. What's crazy is I would have never even tried to look. Now I know what's really up. Somehow you're going to turn this against me and blame this on me like you're doing with everything else. I don't even know who you are. I just need me and my baby safe. You've been taking our money and putting it in a separate account long before last month or a month ago. You've been depriving me of stuff long before this. Actually, all this started happening when we first got that building. You're telling me you've been building a security blanket for yourself for a long ass time, but I get jumped on for opening a $25 account for the VA that I was going to tell you about as well. I understand now. See what I mean? You would rather believe a lie that you make up than what is the truth. Ravon, this account was barely made less than 4 months ago. Barely made less than 4 months ago. And never would I ever even mention a security. Okay. Oh, this one actually does carry over. And never would I ever even mention a security blanket. It's not even who I am, but go ahead and live in your disgusting lives. I'm not going to entertain fantasy. And yes, of course, that was so freaking hurtful because your intention of that account was today for a little bit of money that you contribute to our household for yourself. You wanted to secure a blanket. Everything is a result of your actions. So please stop acting like this. You telling me a few months ago I quit? A few months ago, we had just got that damn subscription. Not to mention, I'm suffering with depression and developing PTSD, and you don't give a damn about it. Oh my gosh, dude. No, man. The savings was not because you quit or anything. It was because you kept spending money. You literally had no sense of budget. And again, I don't know how many times I have. Is that 3, 4? Set off somewhere else. Hey, are you coming home after your appointment? Yes, I just finished. I'm on the way now. Okay, want me to get the piano room situated for you? Would I be able to have Boo's room instead? She sleeps in there. Bella sleeps in her room. You can sleep in our bed. Then where will you sleep? I'm not leaving my bed. I just want a room where no one is going to have to go into unless they need me. I have a blow up if you want me to give her that. And she can sleep in the room with you or the piano room. The piano room is yours. 5. Marvon, I'm not removing my child from her room that you be comfortable. Why not? I made the room, remember? She bounced around from room to room, and even now she doesn't sleep in there all the time. Again, Marvon, I'm not removing my child from her room so that you can be comfortable. End of discussion. You have a blow-up bed so you can sleep in the piano. Oh, blow-up bed. I get it now. Like air mattress. So you can sleep in the piano room. Since you want to be isolated so bad where no one is going to bother you, I will let them know not to speak to you either. I've been trying to keep everything as normal as possible, but please don't come back home and try to make it difficult. But we're back on the money. I'm just asking, it's too much to get into right now. Marvon, so you will need $2,000 to provide for you until Monday. This makes no sense. If it's too much for you to get into, how do you think I feel about you using $2,000? If you need immediate assistance with psychiatric care, you can go to the VA hospital in Tucson. It's a really nice facility, and I think you can really benefit from it. Wow. You need a break from me, but I'm not going to give you the cash. Go check yourself into a fucking hospital. That's pretty, okay. All right. He says, wait a second. Hold on. All right, so let me go back. It's a loan, Dre. I swear I will pay it back ASAP. I don't need that because I'm not in any immediate danger. But I will be if I stay in the house is what I feel. Then you are in danger if you feel like staying at the house would cause this aggravation. Staying at a hotel is just not feasible. $2,000 to last you 5 to 6 days is something I'm just not understanding. I can make some phone calls so that I can make sure you can get seen by someone today. stupid pinwheel, go away. Okay, 7. Oh, you renting a new house? Please don't ask the girls any questions. But yes, hopefully we will be able to move in soon. I just asked Boo where you were going. She said you were probably going to check out a new house. Our account is dry and there's no shared savings at all. I don't have a job and you're withholding all income. I can't even buy a sandwich if I wanted to. I just want to know why you're doing this to me, even before all this, as if you've been plotting this all along. Why? Right. Just asked, huh? Then just more bills then. Isn't something you said inside? That's good. You need to stop buying things that you can easily get or make at home. A lot of the purchases are a complete waste of money. And yes, you did have a job, but you theoretically quit months ago. But even then, I don't mind if you don't want to work this job with me as long as you help doing other things. Oh, it's the same screenshot. Okay, so that's nothing. So let's see if that's now 18. Here, Katie posted, please help Vaughn's mother hire an attorney to fight for justice for her son and find out what happened to him. Really, that's what the attorney was for? Was to find out what happened to him? Because that's all this time she and others have been saying that the attorney was for like filing papers for for Letitia to get power of attorney or some shit. I'm not even sure what the hell they're claiming, but it's something along that lines. I'm sure as hell wasn't anything criminal. It was more family court shit. Anyway, she needs all the help she can get right now. And then this one, Marvin Torres McRae, you are loved. Your family loves you. Your family is not Andrea. Your family never would have done this to you. We will keep fighting for you and your family. Okay. So, oh shoot. Whatever. And then last one, and this one only has one screenshot in it. Okay, get up there. Oh, well, maybe it's more than one there. But what the hell did I put the? Oh, that's right, the other one didn't go in folder. Shoot, my bad. All right, so 22, no 21. I'm gonna hold off on these because it's getting late. The stream's gone pretty long, and now that I remember, there's a couple in here that are kind of long. So, and these don't offer all that much new. So, I'm gonna save these for tomorrow. In fact, because I'm not working tomorrow. So I'll do a stream tomorrow where I pick up from here from July 10th, and I'll grab more screenshots and posts and video clips and shit like that to cover as well. I'll pick up where we left off. Go here. All right, let me check chat, and then I'll say goodbye to everyone. All right, let's see. The devil is always in the details. Word. Yeah, just by the tone of her own writing. Yeah, I try to read that the way I pictured it sounding in my head. So the way I think it sounded anyway. So, but I mean, and for those who want to make comment or whatever about exploiting a situation or something, I really don't make shit on my YouTube channel, so not too worried about that. But more importantly, I'm doing nothing different, no different than what like nonsense is doing. So, I mean, and it's because of what the whole revised history being recalled and shared. It's because of what's happening over there on the channel that I feel like this really there's some benefit in doing this, from a place of accuracy. So I'm just going to leave it at that. And again, I'm going to reiterate this all the way through. I do not in any way blame Dre for the state in which her husband is in today. I think that in any relationship, there are both people who do things that are wrong. Though his isn't really documented quite as well as hers. Some of the things that I was reminded of while doing this, I was reminded exactly how alarming I found it. Though I do not think that these instances that alarmed me are in any way the cause for form of us today. I just want to make that clear. So, and okay. And I want to thank Suzanne again for coming on earlier. And I do want to say, I want to reiterate that I find it very, very strange. So I did a stream talking about these things, making these claims and showing things to support my claims. Even if they didn't think of people, like against, I guess, me or whatever over this time, even if they didn't think that the things I was saying were a big deal, they still talk about it. I find the silence to be very strange, like complete and total, like no acknowledgement of this. I find that very strange, almost like they're hoping that people don't talk about it and it just goes away. Possibly, allegedly, my opinion. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. So, all right, everyone, thanks for being here. Good night, and I will see you guys tomorrow. And thanks again, Suzanne. Bye. If I can find my exit door, where is it? There it is. Bye.